Hi, Carice. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for taking some time to speak with me.
Of course.
How long have you been a fan of Dangerous Liaisons as a story, and when did how has that evolved over the years?
I've seen the movie, and when I say the movie, I mean the John Malkovich Glenn Close movie. I mean, it's been a while, so I don't know how old I was when I watched that. Um, but it is pretty it's still pretty much in my head. I can have there's still quite vivid images of that film. And of course that era is appealing because of the costumes and because it's so different from what we look now and what we look like now and the times and the carriages and the outside stuff, but of course the inside the is so much more interesting because there's so much non-spoken stuff, there's so much suppressed feelings, there's so many secrets, there's so much betrayal, there's so much status, there's so much tension, and therefore, of course, great material for a show.
And what appealed to you about the character specifically?
Sorry.
What appealed to you about the character of Jacqueline specifically?
Well, I always like playing suppressed people because anyone that has a secret or has something to hide, and there's a tension because there's no way people can do that forever. The more we try to push it down, the more it will come up. So I am always attracted to those kind of characters that have that extra layer, and also the fact that she is really not black and white. Of course, we see her as a sort of aloof, very uh, religious character. I think we find out quite quickly when she meets Valmont that sparks a whole lot of stuff inside her, and to then unravel that thread is an interesting thing to do as an actor.
It's always interesting in a show in a world dominated by lust and sex to see, religion come into it because it doesn't seem like religion's going to win out in that battle.
No, and I think, in fact, for my character, the church is not as, even though she probably will call herself a believer, a believer. The church for her is a an escapism. We find out basically, and she's not a fraud, but there's definitely a reason why she needs to be there all the time.
Right. And you have two really great young actors that you're playing off. What has it been like working with the two of them?
Oh, they are I mean, they are the heart of this show. The fact that they were casted for these roles has had a complete ripple effect on everyone else. They have such a great chemistry, but also individually, they're such beautiful young, wild spirited people, actors with no bullshit. And it's been a real joy working with them.
That's great. And I think I first saw you, I think it was 16 years ago now when I was in college in Black Book, which I'm sure was a big moment in your career. Do you have fond memories of that film?
Oh, my goodness, that was of course my big sort of international break through, such. And I mean, to work with Paul Verhoeven, I love him. I learned so much from him, and that was a great role for me. Obviously, that was a huge part, and it's that film is very dear to me. Yeah.
And I think if that was your international breakthrough, I think the big, international stardom probably came a lot from Game of Thrones. Is that a sort of fandom that you're excited to be associated with, or you'd like to move on to other roles and other things?
Well, I mean, as much as I'm very grateful to have been part of that show and also to play that character, I've always felt like I felt slightly miscast. Like I was always like, I have been playing before that. I've been playing very sort of light roles in comedy, and in my own country, I've done so many sort of light, yeah, comedy roles. So for me to be all of a sudden cast as this sensual, very confident, religious, strong woman, I'm like, me? Like I'm a boy with a bad posture, and I like to swear, and I it's I don't see it. But of course, that was also the challenge for me as an actor, like that I apparently got away with that character. Um, I don't know if that was an answer to your question. I don't really remember the question, to be honest. But
No, I think it's great. Is there anything that you're still excited to try in your career that you feel like you haven't really done yet?
yeah, I mean, yes, I would probably love to do more comedy, and people don't know how funny I am. No, but that's a terrible thing to say. No, I probably because I've done a lot of drama. I've done a lot of psychosis, suicidal people, people dying of cancer. Just very hard, heavy roles, and I would love to do something more light. But I also want to do non-scripted, and I also want to do a biopic on Greta Garbo. And there's so many things that I still want to do. So let's see what life will give me.
Well, I wish you plenty of luck with that, and thank you for taking some time to speak